Hi, Bill Henshaw here again, your walking constitution, and another issue at the top of my radar list. Uh, that's come to my attention with circumstances. I think we can make some big differences now, and that's the CPS. And to the extent that they depend on federal law, they're in real trouble. And as you know, the crown jewel of all my constitutional issues is there are no states. So anything enacted, in your state capital, quote unquote, doesn't apply, we can defeat it immediately. And for reasons that regular viewers of my videos know very well, there are no people of the state of California, for example, and yet they act, everything they do is in their name. They're not there in the current Constitution. There are no states. But this is so bad, and with a burden of proof that even if they had the power, they can do things basically based on little, if any, evidence and take preliminary actions to come and summarily take your children away from you. Now, it seems to me that giving birth, is the outstanding example of a creator endowed inalienable right. I mean, do they really think with the marriage license you got from this stupid damn government that they now own the children of the marriage because of the contractual agreement? It's an issue I love to get to a jury, or better yet, a federal criminal grand jury. You just can't do things this way. And the preliminary steps, even if the power exists, requires, in my view, at least clear and convincing evidence from two witnesses with sworn affidavits. Otherwise, the law enforcement thugs don't have any authority to come knocking on your door or stopping your car like what happened recently in another case. And they had 15 or 20 of these thugs surrounding the car and ended up stealing the kid for no good reason whatsoever. It has to stop, and stop now. And the issues I advocate can go a long way to making that happen, particularly when the U.S. Supreme Court, over the course of the last two terms, now seems to have our backs on a lot of these issues. As you'll learn, or send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll send you information on what I do and how I do it. You're going to love it. And the Supreme Court gets most of this. We just have to get a case there with the right issues and people with the correct status, and we're going to get some big changes here. It's related to several cases from the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, that look totally unrelated, but they're not unrelated, and the Supreme Court knows it. That's how good this is. So that said, if you had that especially that kind of difficulty, and with other alphabet agencies too, it isn't just limited to the CPS, but they're far worse offenders, given the rights of families and children to be together, the magnitude of the issues here that come together that the state, quote unquote, thinks it can control. They're dead wrong. And you'll learn a lot of reasons why that's true. And we can prove it's true, even in their corrupt courts. That said, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll get the information out on what I do and how I do it. And we can go from there and make things right and maybe help get your kid back too, or children if they've been taken away, especially summarily with nothing in the way of a warrant, probable cause, or anything like that. You ask yourself, how in the world is this happening? Just as I would do if I were on a jury. And the good news for you and the bad news for them is if I make a complimentary Zoom appearance in front of a jury, and you get that when you get my materials, and explain to them simply how in the world this came to happen, and that as a jury, they're sitting there as the people of the state of California, for example, and they have the power to rule on the facts and the law and stop these bastards cold. And once that happens a couple of times, it's going to happen across the board. That's going to even get through to the mindless mainstream media. What's wrong here? And stories are going to get out. People are going to learn, what to do, how to do it, and if they're on a jury, what to do. That's the salvation that we have, is that right to trial by jury and rid of habeas corpus. It all goes together, and they don't want you to know any of it. To learn more of what I'm doing, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. In the meantime, subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The quicker we get them to cut out doing this divide and conquer crap they've been doing for at least 150 years, the sooner we get them off our backs. Thank you.